Madam Zimbabwe, Mr. Swaziland, please tell me what this framework on care and support for teaching and learning they call CSTL is all about.
CSTL is a great example on how a local idea became so successful that it went all the way up to become a regional framework for the 15 member states of the Southern African Development Community.
It was in the early 2000s when we recognized that there were a lot of vulnerable children and orphans, mainly as a consequence of the HIV epidemic. These children had no safe home, schooling, nor healthcare. The original idea was to make schools a safe place for them. Media and Education Trust, an NGO in South Africa, elaborated a plan. Right, my friend?
Yes, together with the Swiss Agency for Development and Cooperation we did. We made it a national model and eventually, together with South Africa and Swaziland, reached out to the SADC Secretariat to share our experience with the other member states. 2016, this policy was finally signed by all of the 15 SADC member states. Miet helped to draft the framework and push it through at the SADC meeting of ministers. Now that it is adopted, we help the 7 SDC focus countries to translate the framework into their national legislation and education policies.
But how did the CSTL strategy benefit the children?
Well, in Swaziland, inspired by the framework's suggestion to address nutrition issues in school, we decided to offer breakfast in schools to provide clean water and help with therapy for HIV-positive children. We also stopped corporal punishment in school. Soon, more children were attending school regularly and their overall performance increased.
So what is the benefit of developing this framework at regional level?
Well, the framework includes a minimum of standards of what a school should offer, especially for vulnerable children and orphans. It provides guidance for the SADC countries who would like to domesticate the framework. They are animated to implement recommendations but are flexible to adapt them to their context. Finally, local authorities implement it for the benefit of children.
So you mean Namibia can adopt its own version of the framework?
Right, that's the advantage of the regional approach. You see, Namibia has access to what happened in the SCC focus countries and can draw from their experience.
There are more SADC frameworks in the pipeline from which we could learn from each other to improve our people's lives. What I like about regional standards is that you can also better compare progress in and across countries.
The good thing about donors like SDC is that they engage in policy dialogue. They support partners like us to work with SADC member states at regional level for the formulation of regional policies. Then the partners' national offices support their domestication and monitor the implementation.
I think Namibia should also adopt this CSTL framework. Now I understand. In principle, SADC sets up a frame to be domesticated by countries and implemented by them locally, thereby reaching beneficiaries. The CSTL framework shows that it works also the other way around. A local program with promising results went from local to national to regional and back to local.